is Club 49.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped me get to the first day of my career, a job that I could still hold while I served part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from my service helped me buy my first home. And I take pride knowing I will be the first to respond if my community ever needs me. To learn more, visit nationalguard.com.
Well, we welcome you back to the Alaska Airlines Center. We get ready for game number 2 tonight. The UAA men will take the floor as they will also take on the Western Oregon Wolves here this evening. As the Sea Wolves, coming off of a road split last weekend, come in on a one-game winning streak here after that road split as they beat Simon Fraser 71-49. Well, the Seawolves, who seem like they've been on the road a lot lately, that's because they have. Seawolves back at home after last week's road trip. They are wrapping up the second half of the GNAC season, which gets started tonight with 7 home games on tap over the next 11 games. So they have a majority of their games at home down the stretch of the season, starting here tonight against Western Oregon. And then the Seawolves get ready for the big test on Saturday against the #1 ranked St. Martin Saints. We'll talk about that game a little bit later on. The Seawolves trying to extend it to a 2-game winning streak. They come in with a 4-3 record in conference play as UAA 2.5 games behind Montana State Billings, who is in first place in the GNAC conference at 7-1. St. Martin's is 6-1. And in second place, and the Seawolves at 4-3 are in third. Western Oregon, on the other hand, they have struggled as of late, as Western Oregon has a 3-game losing streak. And if you go all the way back to November, they went on a 5-game losing streak during that span as well. They have one win in their last 9 games to the Western Oregon Wolves. That one win coming against Simon Fraser, a 67-58 victory back on January the 6th. So Western Oregon trying to get back in the win column, trying to end a 3-game losing streak. However, Western Oregon has had the Seawolves number over the last 5 meetings. They have won 5 in a row against UAA. Last win back in February of last year. It came in overtime, a 74-69 win here at the Alaska Airlines Center. And the winning streak the Wolves are on against the Seawolves is the longest the Wolves have held since these teams have started playing. 9 of the last 10 games have been decided by 10 points or less, including 3 overtime contests during that time span as well. Seawolves lead the overall series, although it has been close. UAA is 23-22 overall against Western Oregon. They are 14-7 in games that are played here in Anchorage. Western Oregon without their leading scorer, Keont Myers, as the 6'4" junior from Fresno, California, not with the team. So they will be shorthanded, will the Wolves tonight, much like the Wolves women's basketball team. Even though they were shorthanded, they pull out a victory against the UAA women's team for the first time since December of 2003. Ends a 20-year losing streak, 37-game losing streak. The Western Oregon ladies basketball team ended tonight against UAA, as the UAA women saw their 9-game winning streak come to an end. As Western Oregon defeated the Seawolves 73-53 earlier this evening in the women's game. We'll see if the UAA men can get the Seawolves back in the win column here tonight. Both teams out of the floor, getting warmed up. We're about a minute away from our introductions and our starting lineups. Glad to have you along wherever you are tuned in here tonight. Glad to be back behind the mic after a brief stint away from the broadcast near courtside. Glad to be back with you guys wherever you're watching Seawolf basketball. We will send it over to our PA announcer for our starting lineups for Western Oregon and UAA.
Welcome to the Alaska Airlines Center on the University of Alaska Anchorage campus for tonight's matchup between Western Oregon and your UAA Seawolves. And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Diagnostic Health Alaska. First for Western Oregon, a 6'6" guard, number 3, Chris Cook. A 6'4" guard, number 4, Jason Gallup. A 6'5" guard, number 12, Nathaniel Morgan. A 6'7" forward, number 22, Peter Casey Flowgy. And a 6'7" forward, number 23, Cameron Bensel. The head coach for the Wolves is Wes Pfeiffer, assisted by Brian Fisher, Colton Anderson, Drew Whittingham, and Kyle Ruiz. And now here's tonight's starting lineup for UAA Seawolves. The head coach of the Seawolves is Rusty Osborne, second by Ryan and Ryan Anderson.
Hassan Harrington making his second start as a Seawolf, back-to-back starts. He got his first start against Simon Fraser last week. Rusty Osborne leaving him in the starting lineup here tonight. Seawolves wearing their white uniforms with green and gold trim, as Western Oregon wearing their red uniforms with black and white trim. The Wolves will work left to right. Seawolves right to left here in the first half. Sawyer Storms will go up against Cameron Binzel. Here we go. As the Wolves control the opening tap. Glad to have you along wherever you might be tuned in. As Western Oregon swings it over to the left side briefly. Out near the top of the key, Gallant. Now Gallant here on the near wing, guarded by Barrientos. Good ball movement around the perimeter by the Wolves, deep into the shot clock now. 5 seconds. Slipping and falling, turning it over. Seawolves have a 2-on-1. Harrington can't get the layup to go. Kept it himself, left it a little bit short. As Morphy brings it up ahead for Western Oregon. Gallant shovels it off. 3-ball, Cook, too strong. Barrientos picks up the rebound of the corner. A minute gone by. Still scoreless. Sawyer Storms, a little hesitation. Gives it up. Tyson Gilbert, a deep three, yes. Tyson Gilbert coming off of a strong weekend against Western Washington and Simon Fraser. Tyson Gilbert had 25 points, was 2 points away from equaling his career high against the Vikings in that loss against Western Washington. And had a 20-point performance against Simon Fraser. Seawolves come away with the rebound. Harrington briefly lost it between his legs, but gathers it back in. As Tyson Gilbert will hand it off. Nope, he'll keep it himself. Barrientos will back it out, reset the offense here a little bit. 5 on the shot clock. Barrientos, fadeaway 3, in and out. Rebound, Sawyer Storms. Nice cut by Barrientos. Able to hang on to it. And the Seawolves will kick it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Barrientos isolated again. Dillon. Tyson Gilbert, fadeaway J. No, but the Seawolves almost get another offensive rebound, and they do. Back-to-back offensive rebounds as Sawyer Storms, his pass broken up, stolen away that time. As Gananji, Peter Casey Gananji with the steal. Another shot from in close for the Wolves, unable to get it to fall. Wide open 3, Hassan. Hassan gets his own miss, leaves the putback short. Gets another offensive rebound. The Seawolves cleaning up the offensive glass right now. Under 17 minutes to play here in the first half. Seawolves leading 3-0 as Tyson Gilbert, a little crossover, throws it into the corner. 5 on the shot clock. Harrington hangs, left it short. Ball is knocked out of bounds by Sloan Linford, and it will go to Western Oregon. Seawolves have the best scoring defense in the GNAC, only allowing opponents to score an average of 61 points per game. They've been terrific on the defensive side of the ball this season. As Rusty Osborne's crew. Another 3, this time knocked down Chris Cook. Misfired from long range on his first shot attempt from the field. Connects here, ties it at 3. The Seawolves will set up the half-court offense. Swing it over to the right wing. Barrientos thought about it, doesn't shoot it. Storms will. As Trey Wilmot, the junior from Reno, Nevada, brings it across the timeline. On the drive, tough shot. A little too strong that time from Morphy. As the Seawolves pick up already their 8th rebound here in the first half. Harrington with the right-handed dribble, slicing through the lane, throws it away. Chris Cook read the pass and saved it from going out of bounds as well. As Makayo Morphy brought it up ahead. .13 on the shot clock. Under 15 to go. We haven't had a whistle yet. 3 ball from the corner, knocked down. Back-to-back triples for Chris Cook, the junior from Los Angeles, California. Has all 6 points for the Wolves here to start. Cook averaging 12.6 points per game, 4 rebounds per game as well. Shoots right around 33% from downtown. Gilbert trying to answer, cannot. Ball tapped back out to Dylan Barrientos. Storms trying to lob it in, throws it into the corner now. Hassan Harrington hesitates. Good patience by Hassan Harrington. Let the defense go by and then lays it up and in. Cameron Benzel lost it, but able to get it back. Cook, nice baseline pass. May have been partially blocked on that shot attempt from Wilmot, and then it's put back up and in that time by Peter Casey Gananji. A turnover off the inbounds and another layup by Gananji. Back-to-back buckets for Western Oregon in the span of 5 seconds. And it's out to a 5-point lead for the Wolves at 10-5, 13:33 to go. Deep 3, Barrientos off the front of the iron, and the long rebound trickles out to Gananji. Three from the left wing, buried. Wilmot knocks it down, and the Wolves are now 3 of 4 from behind the arc here to start in the first half, and they've built themselves an early 8-point lead. At the elbow, Tyson Gilbert needs some help. We'll throw it back out. Sawyer Storms finds a cutting Sloan Linfer, was blocked from behind. Sloan gets it back, can't get it to go. Shot clock should have reset a couple of times. Ball clearly hit the rim, should have never expired. However, Western Oregon gets the rebound. Seawolf bench calling for some defense. Chris Cook missed everything that time. Still have not had a whistle. And almost 8 minutes gone by as Tyson Gilbert finally brings us to a whistle. And we hit the under 16 timeout with 12:10 to go here in the first half. Wolves out in front of the Seawolves, 13-5. We'll step aside. You're watching Seawolf basketball. Western Oregon going on a little 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Built themselves an 8-point advantage, 13-5, 12-10 to go. That was the first whistle of the first half. Neither team has picked up a foul so far. Here almost 8 minutes into the first half. Ball never went out of bounds or anything of that nature either. Seawolves here to start have not shot well. They are 2 of 13 from the field, while Western Oregon 5 of 11 and 3 of 5 from behind the arc. As Benzel out on the perimeter, guarded by Storms, will give it up. Gallant, nowhere to go, skip pass into the hands of Chris Cook. The runner off the window, no. And the rebound falls into the hands of Tyson Gilbert as Dylan Barrientos brings it up the floor. Now 5 points have come from Tyson Gilbert and Hassan Harrington. Gilbert for 3, trying to make it 6 points, and he does. Picks up his 6th point. Wilmot gives it up as Tyler Ricketts, the senior from Vancouver, Washington, into the game, seeing his first minutes here. In the corner, Gallant with the left-hand dribble, 5 on the shot clock, hangs, fires. What a shot that time from Jason Gallant, the junior from Simi Valley, California, by way of Colorado Christian. Gallant averaging nearly 13 points per game. Picks up his first field goal there. As Jerron Williams with it at the top of the key. Williams hangs and fires, yes. Good defense by Tyson Gilbert out on Gallant. And then Barrientos reaches in, knocks it away, forcing the steal. As Williams swings it over, Barrientos, deep 3. Whoa, not even close. Brings us to the under 12 timeout. 9:56 to go here in the first half. Seawolves trailing by 5, 15-10. Step aside here once again as you're watching Seawolf basketball. Good crowd on hand here tonight, here at the Alaska Airlines Center. Many fans staying for both games. Fans once again enjoying some Pizza Hut pizza, the official pizza of Seawolf Athletics. Out of the break, Wolves with the basketball as they lead by 5. Couldn't ask for a better start for Western Oregon and Wes Pfeiffer as the 3 offline that time for Jason Gallant, but an offensive rebound. He'll get it back and launch it again. No, and Dathan Satchel, the senior, comes in and picks up a defensive rebound. Seawolves have not shot well here to start. See if they can get the offense going here a little bit. As Satchel finds Tyson Gilbert. Gilbert leans in and able to get the shot to go. Gilbert now with 8. And who else do you want to get going other than Tyson Gilbert? The senior out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado, averaging 14.2 points per game, coming off of a couple of 20-point performances. Gallant almost threw it away. Ricketts able to hang on to it. Ricketts down low. Gananji double team, kick it out. Gallant off the heel of the iron to the rebound to Wilmot. Gallant on the drive, contact, and Gallant will go to the line. It's the first foul whistled against either team here in the first half, and it comes at the 8:34 mark in the first half. And Gallant will go to the free throw line. Jason Gallant, an 81% free throw shooter at the stripe. Rusty Osborne pleading his case for how that was not a foul against the Seawolves. If anything, could have been called against Gallant, as Gallant misses the first free throw. The foul was called against Sloan Lemfer. Gallant hits 1 out of 2. Lenfer, the freshman from right here at Anchorage, almost throws it away. Trey Evans able to save it. What a play by Tyson Gilbert to keep it from going in the backcourt. 10 on the shot clock as Evans with 5, Evans with 4. Evans got to shoot it. Williams does, and it's a shot clock violation. It was a scramble for UAA on that possession just to keep the ball in play for that 30-second shot clock, and then an errant shot. Ball never hitting the iron to reset it. Cook will launch the 3, buries it. Cook now with 9 points, all of which have come from behind the arc. Seven-point lead for Western Oregon as we hit 7:30 to go here in the first half. Evans, Satchel trying to answer. Whoa. The shooting woes continue. Seawolves now 2 of 10 from behind the arc. They're 5 of 19 from the field. On the drive, Gananji can't finish with the left hand that time. Good defense by Sloan Lemfer to stay in front, forced a tough shot. Lemfer goes up, left it short. Evans almost forcing the steal, but Wilmot able to hang on to it. 3 from the corner, in and out. Ball was halfway down and it popped out that time for Gallant, but an offensive rebound for Western Oregon. Gallant, Cook another 3, banked it in. When you're hot, you're hot. Chris Cook now in double figures. He has 12. Already matching his per-game average for points. And it's a 10-point lead for Western Oregon. Satchel left it short. In transition, Gallant throws it away. As Caleb Larson brings it up the floor for the Seawolves. Lenfer in the low post. Had it poked free by Gananji. Ball is loose on the floor, and now Sloan Linford will pick up his second foul. So another little run here by Western Oregon as they go on a 7-0 run to help build a 10-point lead with 5:35 to go in the first half. Brings us to the under 8 timeout. We'll step aside. You're watching Seawolf basketball from the Alaska Airlines Center. Well, the Seawolves lead the nation in three-point field goal percentage defense, only allowing teams to shoot 27% for the game. But right now, Western Oregon lighting it up here in the first half from behind the arc. They're shooting 45%. They're 5 of 11. Chris Cook responsible for 4 of the 5 made three-point buckets so far. As the Wolves put it back in the hands of Cook for a brief moment, under 10 on the shot clock. As Morphy finds Cameron Benzel, 3 on the shot clock. Benzel, tough shot, circles the iron, pops out, and the rebound to the hands of Cook, but Sawyer storms from behind with the rejection. Larson, pump fake for 3. Storms with an offensive rebound and the putback. It ends a scoreless drought of UAA. They were scoreless for the last 4 minutes. And finally able to get a field goal as Sawyer Storm scores his first points tonight. And the Seawolves got to get defensive stops, however. Lob it in. Barrientos came over just in the nick of time from the help side to help force that steal. As Williams on the drive, Duran all the way to the 10, lays it up and in. Timeout, Western Oregon. So out of the break, the Seawolves able to find a little offense. And they get to within 6. As Wes Pfeiffer, in his 5th year at the helm of Western Oregon, calls his first timeout here in the first half with 4:16 to go. So the Seawolves able to respond with a run of their own, 6-0 run for UAA. Actually, check that little 4-0 run for the Seawolves to get within 6. Kyle Morphy will inbound, the freshman from Santa Barbara, California. Murphy yet to score tonight. Murphy on the near side. Almost lost it, got it back. Work it down low, and Cameron Benzel with the flush. Give Peter Casey Gananji the assist off a beautiful feed to the big fella Benzel, who's averaging 13.7 points per game and 7 rebounds as well, as Benzel picks up his 4th point tonight. As Barrientos will back it out. Dillon on the drive, puts on the brakes. Iron unkind on that one. Sewell's got another offensive rebound. Williams this time able to cash in. And the officials stopped play for a moment. The net got tangled up in the other end. It was caught around the iron and get it untangled. 24-18, 3:13 and counting here in the first half. As Gallant, guarded by Caleb Larson, trying to get around him. Forced to give it up, lob it down low to Benzel again, but this time he lost it out of bounds. Barrientos calling out the plays. He brings the ball into the front court. Almost threw it away. Williams, good strong hands there to hang on to it. Barrientos hangs and fires and connects. Barrientos with his first points. He was 0 for 4 prior to that make. Gets UAA back within 4 at 24-20. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Sawyer Storms. Caleb Larson finds Barrientos. Storms with the follow. The big fella outrunning the floor. And he gets the putback. And an offensive foul going to be called against Gananji. Or actually, check that. It might be Cameron Benzel, and it is Benzel, not Gananji. 23, not 22. So Benzel with the foul, picking up his first. And the first team foul against Western Oregon as we go into 2 minutes to play. Nice feed to Storms, but he has it rejected. Probably should have just gone up with it initially. Shouldn't have hesitated. Now another whistle. And this time it's going to go against UAA. As Sawyer Storms called for the foul. His first, team's third. As Cook already with 12 points. Cook finds Benzel. Benzel is fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2. Cameron Benzel, the 6'7" redshirt senior out of Yoncalla, Oregon. At the line. And he misses the free throw. Benzel on the year, a 69% free throw shooter. Second free throw, Benzel left it a little short, 0 for 2. Chance to tie or take the lead for UAA here on this possession. As Larson 10 on the shot clock. Barrientos, step back, 3. Storms try to tap it, no, but was fouled from behind, and Sawyer Storms will take a trip to the free throw line. It'll be the first free throws tonight for the Seawolves. As Sawyer on the season, 73% from the stripe. Storms so far tonight, 4 points on 2 of 5 shooting. Also has 5 rebounds as well. Sawyer averaging close to 10 points per game on the season. Storms knocks in the first. As Lyman Simmons getting set to check in for his first minutes here. He's going to check in for Sawyer Storms. Storms will check out. Simmons, the freshman out of St. George, Utah, will come in. Game is tied at 24. As the Seawolves have gone on a 12-2 run to tie the game up. Chris Cook finds the cutter along the baseline. Benzo leans in and kisses it home that time. The shot clock is turned off. And now a timeout going to be taken by the Seawolves with 24.9 remaining here in the first half. See what they set up out of the timeout. Assume they will hold for the final shot of the first half as well. The Seawolves 10 of 31 from the field, 32%. They're 2 of 13 from behind the arc so far tonight. That's been a large portion of the difference so far this evening. 3-point shooting. Western Oregon 5 of 11 from behind the arc. Seawolves 2 of 13. Each team knocking down 10 field goals. As Barrientos gives it up, Williams at the right block, turnaround shot. No, can't get it to go. Seawolves try to get a shot off quickly. Now 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Gananji gives it up. Seawolves wanted a foul. Here's the floater high off the glass that time by Wilmot. No. Gilbert, good if it goes. Hits off the front of the iron. So the Seawolves will go into the locker room trailing by a couple, 26-24. As UAA able to end on a little bit of a run to close the gap. They trailed by as many as 10 points in that first half. Got the game tied briefly at 24, but Western Oregon will take a 2-point lead into the break. We'll step aside. We'll come back, take a look at the first half stats. Also take a look at some scores from around the GNAC as well. You're watching Seawolf basketball.
All right, fans, it's time for the Alaska Airlines half-court shot. Let's welcome to the court, Caden. Caden gets 2 tries to hit a half-court shot. If he hits it, he gets a round-trip ticket anywhere Alaska Airlines flies. Hey, I'm pretty sure if we had some noise for Caden, that would have gone in. Fans, please welcome the UAA robotics team. The UAA High School robotics team is the very first Alaskan team to qualify for the Best DU Robotics World Championship competition. This year they're working on 2 new robots to compete on all new festivities challenges. Scan the QR code to learn more about their program. Now, welcome to the court, Amu and Micah. As well as UAA World Competitive Robot Brand. Our two contestants have 45 seconds to run up as many discs as possible and shoot them in the net. The winner will get a Qdoba gift card. First up, Amu. Looks like we got 5. How about a hand for Amu? All right, you guys think Mike can beat that 5? All right, Micah. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, go! Finding his range. We have 20 seconds left. By encouraging interest in one of the most rewarding applications out there. Give back and stay in shape as a part of the game. Feel your need to stay within the competition and remain a part of the team. Earn extra money. For information, you go to sayyestoofficiating.com. Again, that's sayyestoofficiating.com. Give back to the sport you love and enjoy. trivia night. Our contestant, Hannah, will be asked 3 questions, and if they get 2 of 3 right, they're going home with some Apple AirPods courtesy of GCI. Let's get to it. Question number 1. What is the term of the application of psychological and physiological principles to engineering and construction of products? Is it ergonomics, structural engineering, or geodesy? We need the answer. What will B? It's actually A, ergonomics, but that's all right. Because we've got 2 more chances to get it right and take one of those AirPods. Our second question. The largest power station in the U.S. is the Concrete Gravity Dam in Washington, construction in the 1930s. What's the name of the dam? The Grand Hoover Dam, the Hoover Dam, or the Braddock Dam? She's going with Hoover Dam. That's incorrect with the Grand Hoover Dam. Let's see if we can get the same on the last one. In civil engineering, Abram's law describes the strength of which type of building material that's composed of fine and coarse aggregate bonded together. Is it gravel, concrete, or drywall? The guess is concrete. Actually, on the last one, it's concrete. Let's give our contestant Hannah a big round of applause for coming out here for trivia night.
Create a backyard that's out of this world. Right now, get a free carrying case, chain, and hat for the purchase of select steel chainsaws. Real steel. Find yours. One in 5 Americans deal with mental health conditions every year. No matter who you are, it's okay to ask for help. So don't wait. Premier Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Welcome back to record your UAA.
Here at halftime at the Alaska Airlines Center, Seawolves out of the locker room getting warmed up for the second half. First half went by pretty quick. There were not a lot of whistles in that first half. The teams only combined for 6 total fouls, 2 against Western Oregon, 4 against UAA in that first half. There were not a lot of dead balls, and play moved up and down the floor relatively easily. So first half went pretty quick as the Wolves have a 2-point lead, 26-24. As we take a look at the first half stats, start things with the Seawolves. UAA got off to a slow shooting start in that first half. They heated up a little bit. They finished that first half 10 of 32 from the field. They were 2 of 13 from behind the arc, 15%. Did not shoot well from downtown in that first 20 minutes of action. 2 of 2 from the free throw line, had 21 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, 6 turnovers in that first half for UAA. Seawolves were led by the 8 points of Tyson Gilbert, did it on 3 of 5 shooting, 2 of 3 from behind the arc. Couple of points for Hassan Harrington, 6 points for Sawyer Storms, 2 for Dylan Barrientos, and 6 for Jerron Williams on 3 of 5 shooting in 12 minutes of action for Williams in that first half. And that's all the scoring for UAA. For Western Oregon, a lot of their scoring production came off the hands of Chris Cook. He had 12 points on 4 of 6 shooting from behind the arc. He was 4 of 8 from the field in total in 19 minutes of action. 6 points for Cameron Benzel on 3 of 4 shooting. A couple of points for Peter Casey Gananji on 1 of 3 from the field. Jason Gallant with 3 points on 1 of 6. And Trey Wilmot, with 3 points as well. on 1 of 3 shooting from the field. As a team, Western Oregon got off to a very hot start shooting the basketball. They finished the first half 10 of 25 from the field. In the first 6 minutes of the game, they already had 7 field goals, so they cooled off rapidly from the field. They were 5 of 11 from behind the three-point line, 1 of 4 from the free throw line, had 16 rebounds, 7 assists. And they turned the basketball over 7 times. But all in all, Western Oregon head coach Wes Pfeiffer has to be pleased with the way his team has performed through the first 20 minutes of action. Given the poor shooting performance for UAA in that first half, only trailing by a couple, I have to feel very fortunate for Rusty Osborne and the Seawolves that Western Oregon was not able to capitalize a little bit more to that slower start that UAA had, even though UAA trailed by 10 points in the first half. Seawolves trailed by 10 points, 22-12, with 4:47 to go in the first half. And the Seawolves able to go on a run to tie it at 24 briefly. And Western Oregon able to hit a bucket to take a lead into the locker room. Take a look at the scoreboard from around the Great Northwest Athletic Conference here tonight in men's basketball. A couple of games have gone final. Northwest Nazarene with a 69-51 win over Simon Fraser in Nampa. And Central Washington with a huge victory over Western Washington as they won by the final score of 97-75. So Western Washington falling to 4-4. Central Washington improving to 5-3. Seawolves trying to improve their conference record to 5-3. St. Martin's is up in Fairbanks right now. And I'll update you on the score from Fairbanks. At last check, it was just getting underway, and St. Martin's had an early 1-0 lead. Like, very early. Game just a few seconds in the first half up in Fairbanks. And then is all the action across the GNAC in men's basketball. Women's basketball, the UAA women's team in action earlier tonight, and they suffer a setback as they see their 9-game winning streak come to an end as the women's team lost by the final score of 73-53. And perhaps the biggest win of the women's basketball program at Western Oregon in recent memory. It was a 20-year drought that the women's team had not beaten UAA. It was December of 2003. It was 37 games in a row that the UAA women had beaten the Western Oregon Wolves in. But that came to an end earlier tonight as Western Oregon picks up the victory on the women's side of things. Wolves trying to complete a sweep here in Anchorage here this evening. We'll see what happens here, however, in the second half. As the Seawolves with the basketball to start half number 2. Storms near the right block will kick it out. Mid-range jumper, Barrientos. Iron unkind on that shot attempt. And a one-and-done possession for UAA as Jason Gallant finds Gananji. And then a turnover. Barrientos on the left wing. Ball was knocked out of bounds. It was actually kicked, so they reset the shot clock to 20 seconds. Barrientos, or check that. Dathan Satchel off the inbound. Knocks down the bucket. Tied at 26. Benzel faces up, knocks it down over the top of Sloan Lynn for that time. Tyson Gilbert works it here to the near side. Barrientos hangs and fires. No. It's been a slow shooting night for Dylan Barrientos. 1 of 9 from the field now. As Gallant rise and fire. No. And Storms picks up the defensive rebound. Storm straightaway 3. Linfer with the rebound. Had it ripped away, but a foul going to be called against Jason Gallant. First foul against the Wolves here in the second half. And it's the first foul against Gallant as well. Off the inbound, Storms. Left it short. Surprised he didn't try to use the backboard there from that angle. Chris Cook. He's had them all night from downtown. Hits another one. Now has 15. And it's back out to a 5-point lead now for Western Oregon. Ball loose on the floor. Gilbert picks it up. No whistle yet. Gilbert still with it, had it ripped away, and now a held ball comes in, and the arrow will give it to Western Oregon. As Jason Gallant looking over to the sideline, getting the play from the bench. What a pass to Benzel. Somehow, some way, Gallant threaded the needle and got it to Benzel for the flush. Sloan Linfer, turnaround shot, no. As Chris Cook brings it up ahead. Gallant left it short that time. Barrientos picks up the rebound up ahead. Tyson Gilbert. Tyson had it blocked by Gananji. Ball loose, and a foul going to be called against Gallant as Dathan Satchel was battling for the rebound. And Gallant quickly picks up his second personal and second team foul. Was Satchel in the act of shooting? I think he was. And so Dathan will go to the line to shoot a couple of free throws. Satchel on the season, an 80% free throw shooter. And Dathan knocks down the free throw. Cameron Benzel and Chris Cook combining for 25 of the 33 points. And Satchel hits 1 out of 2. Barrientos knocked it out of bounds. Mismatch there. Barrientos on Cameron Benzel. 6'7" Cameron Benzel. Dylan Barrientos listed at 6'1". Good job on the entry, going up to get it. Makayo Cook inside the arc this time, doesn't matter, knocks it down. Chris Cook, the junior out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Lamar Community College, having himself a night, now has 18 points. Corner three, knocked down as Tyson Gilbert able to respond. Tyson hits his third three-point field goal. He's now in double figures as he has 11. Does that get the Seawolves going? As it gets UAA back within 5. Cook will hand it off to Morphy. 5 on the shot clock. Benzel's pass goes out of bounds. Brings us to the under 16 timeout. 15:29 to go here in the second half. Seawolves trail by 5, 35-30. We'll step aside. You're watching Seawolf basketball. Well, the fans trying to get into it here a little bit here at the Alaska Airlines Center as they see the home team trailing by 5, 35-30. Glad to have you along wherever you might be tuned in, whether it's across the state, across the nation, or across the world on GoSeaWolves.com. As Keaton Homer along with you, it's been a little bit of a back and forth game. Each team going on runs at certain points in time. Seawolves' largest lead of the game has been 3 points. That's when it was 3-0 to start. Other than that, Western Oregon has led. The game's been tied 3 times. Jerron Williams, a little contact, able to finish. Worked through that contact, got to the rim and laid it up and in. UAA now within 3. Cameron Benzel backing his way down. Benzel over the top of Sawyer Storms, left it short. Good defense by Storms. Tyson Gilbert will give it up. Under 15 on the shot clock. Hard screen by Storms that time, never was set. So Storms will pick up his second foul. It's the first team foul of the second half against UAA. Lob, Benzel had it knocked away from behind. Storms picks up his third. So just like that, Sawyer Storms now with 3 fouls. With 14:26 to go in the second half. As of right now, Sawyer going to stay in the game. Wilmot will hand it off. Gallant now. Gallant just inside the arc, knocks down the jumper. Able to can it from 17. As Gallant now with 5. It's only his second field goal that he's hit here tonight. Gilbert offline that time as Benzel comes flying in and gets the rebound. In the corner, the three. Wilmot hits the heel. Fortunate bounce for the Wolves as the offensive rebound ends up in the hands of Cameron Benzel. Deep three, Gallant. Back-to-back buckets for Jason Gallant. And right now, it's the Wolves who are going on a run. It's their turn as Barrientos left it short. May have been partially blocked on the way. Chris Cook may have got a piece of it. Three ball, Wilmot. Whoa. Didn't even come close. Here's Williams. Williams steps past Gallant that time and lays it up and in. Cut along the baseline. Good defense by Tyson Gilbert. Gets the steal. Williams again. Dishes it off. Satchel for three. UAA back within a possession. Under 10 on the shot clock as Benzel. His pass deflected out of bounds by Satchel. 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Second back in for UAA, number 21, Trey Evans. Number 32, Sloan Linford.
As Sloan Linford will check in. Trey Evans in also for UAA. Off the inbound, a blown shot that time from Gananji. Western Oregon had what they wanted off the inbound play, but Peter Casey Gananji unable to cash in on it. Evans double teamed. And a foul against Western Oregon. It'll be their third. Is it whistled against Benzel? No, it is not. It is whistled against Trey Wilmot. Brings us to the under 12 timeout. 11:52 to go in the second half. Seawolves trailing by 3, 40-37. We'll step aside as you're watching Seawolf basketball.
That's 17170. The Baxter ticket number brings to the concourse one of the Benson Bay Lions Club members. Thanks to everyone who participated in the Benson Bay Lions Club 50/50. That winner is taking home $269.
It's been a back and forth second half. Each team scoring has been pretty even. Seawolves 13 points, Western Oregon 14 points. A 3-point lead right now for Western Oregon. Seawolves will have the basketball as Jerron Williams was going to throw it in, but now it's Dathan Satchel who will take the entry pass. Williams will launch the three. Rebound hauled in by Benzel. That's his 9th rebound. He's a rebound away from a double-double. Sawyer Storms leading the way for the Seawolves with 7 rebounds. Williams got a hand on it, but Gallant is there to corral it. He'll launch the three. No. Coming up on the 11-minute mark as number 11 Tyson Gilbert handles the rock for a brief moment, gives it up. Gilbert trying to create here. Tyson from the elbow. As Gallant double team, needs some help. His pass somehow found Wilmot. Benzel kicks it back out under 10. Wilmot tried to feed it back in. Good defense by Dathan Satchel. Got a hand on it. In transition, here's the Seawolves as Williams can't connect from the corner, and a whistle after the missed shot. It'll go against Western Oregon. As Cameron Benzel picks up the foul, his second. Fourth team foul against Western Oregon. Linfer out on the perimeter. Will hand it off. Gilbert launches it. Yes. Tied at 40. Halfway through the second half. Cook leaning in. Can't get it to go. But Chris Cook will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. So the foul whistle against Sloan Linfer, which is his 3rd foul. So Chris Cook at the free throw line, shoots 77% from the free throw line on the season. As Cook, I've always wondered how guys can be such great three-point shooters at times, and then they get to the free throw line 15 feet away. They have a little bit of struggle. As Cook tonight, he's lit it up from behind the arc for 5 threes. Now has 18 points after he made that free throw. Goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Tyson for the lead. Benzel dribbled it off his foot, throws it back out. And wow. Wilmot able to corral that pass, and it goes out of bounds. Seawolves threw it out of bounds. And they reset the shot clock to 20. It was down to 6. Seawolves had possession long enough to warrant a reset of the shot clock. Gallant, double team, gives it up. Cook dishes it off. Benzel left it short. Tyson. Here's Hassan. We'll kick it back out. And Gilbert went up and is fouled, and it's going to be Cameron Benzel. As Benzel will pick up his 3rd. As Tyson Gilbert will go to the line. Chance to give UAA a lead here. Seawolves have not led since it was 3-0. Ties it at 41. Gilbert now with 15, trying to make it 16. And he does. Seawolves back out in front. Good hands by Trey Evans. Forced the steal. Evans all the way to the rim. Lays it up and in. The freshman from South Jordan, Utah, picks up his first points off his steal. Timeout, Western Oregon, with 8:15 to go in the second half. So the Seawolves now out in front by 3, 44-41. UAA here in the second half, now 7 of 19 from the field. Western Oregon in the second half, they're 6 of 15. And so the defense, what the Seawolves have been known for this season, starting to come alive, forcing turnovers, and more importantly, now capitalizing off those turnovers. Seawolves have 18 points off of the 12 Western Oregon turnovers. Wolves have 12 points off the 8 Seawolf turnovers. Western Oregon once again playing without Keont Myers, a junior out of Fresno, California, the team's leading scorer on the season. Not with the team here this weekend. As the three from the corner out of the timeout, the big fella, the 6'7" redshirt sophomore, Peter Casey Kananji, knocks down his first three-point field goal tonight. That's only his second three he's made all season. And he ties the game at 44. Kananji now 2 for 6 from behind the arc on the year. There's a whistle prior to the made bucket, as Jerron Williams able to draw the foul against Trey Wilmot. And it brings us to the under 8 timeout. 7:41 to go in the second half. We're tied yet again. It's the 6th time this game's been tied. This time we're tied at 44. We'll step aside. You're watching Seawolf basketball. .741 to go here in the second half. As we're tied at 44 apiece. It's been the nature of this game that whoever has gone on a run, the other team has responded. Well, that's been Western Oregon going on a couple of 7-0 runs. UAA has responded, going on a couple of runs of their own to get back within a possession or either tie the game a handful of times here this evening. And now UAA out of that break turns the basketball over. Should set up for an exciting finish here down the stretch. As Gallant pulls the trigger on the jumper and he knocks it down over Tyson Gilbert. Gallant now in double figures. He has 11. He's done it on 4 of 12 shooting. Tyson. As Gilbert will get it back. 10 on the shot clock. As Gilbert on the drive. Can't get it to go, but Tyson will go to the line. Cleared out the paint for Tyson Gilbert. Drove it to the rim, able to get contact. As Gilbert at the stripe. 2 for 2 tonight. 16.6 rebounds tonight for Tyson Gilbert in 29 minutes of action so far. As Gilbert misses the first free throw. Last foul was called against Chris Cook, by the way. It's his first. As Gilbert hits one out of 2. Morphy will launch the 3. A little too strong. Ball batted around a couple of times. Finally, Jerron Williams comes away with it. Here comes Williams in transition. Had it knocked away. It will stay with UAA. As Jason Gallant knocked it out of bounds. Gallant pleading his case, saying it went off of Jerron Williams, but not going to win that argument. Three ball by Williams. As Morphy goes up and gets the rebound. Third rebound by Makayo Morphy. And Hassan Harrington got a hand on it. Knocked it out of play. It'll stay with Western Oregon with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Western Oregon has won 5 games in a row against UAA, trying to extend that to 6. It's the longest winning streak the Wolves have had against UAA. Off balance 3 from the corner, nowhere even close that time. As Barrientos brought it up the floor, Seawolves almost turn it over, and they do. Morphy up ahead. Chris Cook somehow got around Williams, missed the layup, but the tap followed by Gananji. As Satchel will launch the 3. Left it a little short that time. Goes out of bounds. It'll go to Western Oregon with 4:49 to go. A 3-point lead at the moment for the Wolves as we get into the waning moments of this second half. Gallant almost dragged his pivot foot, and a foul going to be called against Tyson Gilbert. Leaned into Chris Cook a little too much, almost took his feet out from underneath him as well. Second foul against Tyson Gilbert. It's only the 4th team foul against UAA. Seawolves are in the bonus as Western Oregon has committed 7 team fouls. Storms came in Almost got the steal. Went flying into the Western Oregon bench. The Wolves will inbound right in front of their own bench with 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Who wants to take the entry pass here? It's going to be Gananji. And Wes Pfeiffer is going to take a timeout to discuss things here. Well, if you're making plans for this weekend, make sure it includes a little UAA basketball. It's another doubleheader on Saturday. Men's and women's teams are taking on St. Martin's as the Saints will make their way down from Fairbanks. Saints up in Fairbanks right now trying to pass along a score from that matchup. St. Martin's out in front in a close one. 64-62 up in Fairbanks. They're up by 2 against the Nanooks. So we'll keep an eye on that one. That's almost halfway through the second half up in Fairbanks. Apparently some water got spilled over in front of the Western Oregon bench during the timeout, so some players doing some extra mop-up duty. Trying to get that all dried up, ready to go. As Gallant lobs it in, stolen away by Sawyer Storms. And Sawyer will back it out a little bit, finds Barrientos. As Satchel give it up, under 4 minutes to play now. Satchel leans in off the window, gets it to fall. And Satchel now with 8 points, gets UAA back within 1. Ball rolls out of bounds. Seawolves will get it back. Satchel can't make it back-to-back buckets as Gananji brings down the rebound and will also bring it up the floor for the Wolves. 3 to play. Seawolf bench trying to get the fans going, cheering for a little bit of defense here. Cameron Benzel, he's been somewhat quiet, whips it out to Cook for 3. Misses off the heel that time. Tyson Gilbert. Tyson will dish it back out. Satchel. Williams shoveled it off. Storms had it blocked from behind by Cook. As Gallant brings it up ahead, coming up on 2 minutes to play. Gallant got around Williams. Morphy on the drive. His pass batted in the air. Seawolves come away with the steal. Storms. Sawyer. Yes! Seawolves out in front by one. 49-48, coming up on 90 to play. Benzel will hand it off. Gallant with 10. Gallant fading away. Yes. Clutch bucket by Jason Gallant. And the Wolves back out in front by one, 50-49. Seawolves have 3 timeouts. Western Oregon with 1 as Storms hands it off. Tyson Gilbert. Sawyer for 3. Timeout UAA after the huge 3-point bucket by the big fella. Sawyer Storms, the senior from Idaho Falls, Idaho, knocks down his first 3 of the game. And it gives UAA a 2-point lead, 52-50 with 1:03 remaining. Storms with 11 points on 4 of 10 shooting. And none bigger than that last shot, obviously, to give the Seawolves a 2-point edge. So the Seawolves used one of their 3 timeouts they had remaining. They're down to 2 left. Western Oregon still with that 1 timeout in their back pocket as well. Boy, a close game here in Anchorage, close game up in Fairbanks as well. It's that time of year. Start getting into mid to late January. College basketball is fantastic. Get into February and then on into March as well. Western Oregon on the road this season. They're 2-4 on the road. One of their road wins coming at Simon Fraser. That's their lone conference win as well. As Western Oregon 1-6 in conference play. Seawolves trying to get to 5-3 and keep pace with Central Washington, who also picked up a victory earlier this evening against Western Washington. Under a minute. As Gallant with it. Benzel, double team. Benzel will give it up. Benzel double teamed again. Gananji now. Gananji lost it. Thrown out of bounds off of Barrientos. Seawolves thought maybe there was a travel in there, but ball was deflected. So no travel was called. 6 seconds on the shot clock as Wilmot to throw it in. Gallant, a 3. He was fouled on the 3-point attempt. And Jason Gallant, who's an 81% free throw shooter, will go to the line for 3 shots. He is 1 for 2 tonight from the free throw line. Misses the first. Chance to tie it here if he can make this 3rd free throw. It's 2 out of 3. We're tied at 52. 6-second differential between shot clock and game clock. As Dylan Barrientos brings it across the timeline, and now Rusty Osborne will burn one of his 2 timeouts. So each team now down to 1. Wow. What an exciting finish here. As both these teams have battled back and forth all night long. Western Oregon is led by as many as 10 points tonight. They have led a majority of this ball game. Seawolves have led 6 times, as has Western Oregon. Game's been tied 7 times. UAA has drawn up here out of the timeout. 28.2 remaining. 23 seconds on the shot clock. As Jerron Williams will throw it in from the far sideline. As Barrientos just dribbling out the clock. Now 10 seconds on the shot clock. As Barrientos on the drive, Dylan kicks it, Gilbert barely drew the iron. Western Oregon gets the rebound and a foul against UAA. Fortunate for the Seawolves, they have a foul to give. That's the 6th team foul against UAA. But 7.1 seconds remaining for Western Oregon. Here comes Jason Gallant with 5. Gallant with 3 for the win. Got the lead with 1.2. A 3-point bucket by Jason Gallant, who has come alive after a poor shooting start. Has hit some clutch buckets here down the stretch. And it gives Western Oregon a 3-point lead with 1.2 seconds to go. I thought Gallant was going to hold it long enough for the final shot of the game. Shot it maybe just a little early, but he does give Western Oregon a 3-point lead. An off-balance 3 for Gallant. As the Seawolves use their final timeout. See if UAA can get a look here. And the officials going to send the teams back to their benches. Maybe they look at if any time needs to be put back on. If anything, it's not a lot, maybe a couple of tenths, if that. The officials having a meeting of the minds here to discuss it. You can obviously look at time being put back on. You can look at if it was a 3-point field goal as well. And now they're going to bring over Rusty Osborne and Wes Pfeiffer to have a discussion here. Does the timeout get the basketball in the front court? And I think that's what they're discussing. So the Seawolves will get the opportunity to inbound to the front court, maybe. Or was there a technical foul? Now Tyson Gilbert at the free throw line. What is happening here? All right, just got the update over here. So, technical foul against Western Oregon as Morphy is called for the technical foul as he came off the bench after the made three-point bucket. So, a technical foul against Western Oregon. So, Seawolves will get 2 shots and the basketball. Now they're also checking to see if it was a 2 or a 3-point bucket, which could be huge in this instance. If it was a 2-point bucket and you have Tyson Gilbert at the free throw line, he's got the potential to tie the game. So was Jason Gallant's shot a 3-point bucket or was it a 2? We're going to find out. But we do know that Tyson Gilbert will go to the line to shoot the technical foul shots. Thanks to the officials for coming over and letting us know exactly what was going on. So Tyson at the line. It is indeed a 3-point bucket. As Tyson knocks down the first. The second free throw by Gilbert left it short. So it's a 2-point ball game with 1.4 remaining. A 3 wins it for the Seawolves. Williams to throw it in. Throws it away, and that will do it. Western Oregon comes into UAA and takes down the Seawolves by the final score of 55-53. As Western Oregon has now won 6 in a row against UAA. As the Seawolves will fall to 14-5 overall and 4-4 in conference play. It is the first home loss of the season for UAA. They were a perfect 8-0 at the Alaska Airlines Center until Western Oregon comes in and comes away with the victory. So a 2-point win for Western Oregon. They pick up their second conference victory of the season. They are now 2-6 in GNAC play. They are now 5-11 overall. So the Wolves come in and sweep the Seawolves. The women's basketball team comes away with a 20-point victory, and the men's basketball team comes away with a 2-point victory here tonight. Seawolves were led by the 18 points of Tyson Gilbert on 5 of 12 shooting, 4 of 8 from behind the arc, 4 of 6 from the free throw line in 35 minutes of action. Western Oregon gets a huge performance from Chris Cook. Lit it up for 18 points, 15 of which came from behind the arc here this evening for Western Oregon. So the Wolves will make the trip up to Fairbanks. The Seawolves will await St. Martin's here on Saturday as they have to regroup quickly as they will get ready to take on the #1 team in Division II basketball on Saturday evening. So a rough night for the Seawolves here at home. Well, we got a day to regroup here, and then we'll be back at it on Saturday evening. So until then, I'm Keaton Homer signing off, saying good night from the Alaska Airlines Center.